Hello, everybody. Global Picnic community and live show is live and back again. We took a deep breather. We discussed some topics and some things, and we're fresh, live and alive and kicking with you today. I'm here with my almost all community, meaning almost all 5 co-hosts, all 5 family Global Picnic community members. Dagmar, our 5th one, will join us in a few minutes. Hello, lep pozdrav in skoraj dober večer. Dear Global Picnic community, from me, Zala Bricelj, your hostess of the mostest, really grateful part of the Global Picnic community, kicking off the episode number 17 today, which is very close to our hearts and dear to our hearts, and it's called teamwork, team play, and new ways of getting things done in this digitally connected world, where we usually do most of the things not only locally or maybe face-to-face, but mostly a lot of things vary from a distance, far away, or also with team members which we maybe will never meet face-to-face or IRL, so in real life. Just shortly, for those who are watching us for the first time or have not been live with us today, you're more than welcome to join us every Tuesday. We've moved the show to 12:30 ET time, 30 minutes before, because it is more suitable for our community, also more suitable for our team member from India, which is kind of a very late for him today, and at 1 p.m. as we did it before. So that is a new change, and also feel free to monitor and follow the hashtag Global Picnic on Twitter, where we mostly hang out. So feel free to join us, feel free to shout out, and you're more than welcome to join us every Tuesday. As every time, just a short introduction. My name is Zala Bricelj. I am based in Slovenia, but mostly do my work all around the globe with lovely people like here in Global Picnic community. I'm a digital marketer and coach, and I'm more than happy to help people find their stories and position themselves on this global market and global map. So welcome everybody. And hi to everybody, and now in any order as you wish, you can come in, say hello, and say a few words about yourself.
Go on, Mali.
Okay, ladies first. Okay. Okay, ladies first. Amalia, this lady already went first, so you go second.
Hello, Global Picnic friends and Global Picnic community. My name is Amalia Gomez. I'm from Colombia, but I am living in Spain for a lot of years. I'm working in an e-commerce and like a digital marketer, and in a CEO, especially in Spain. I want to share my experience with the community, and I want to learn with my partners because they know a lot of different things in the digital world. Hola a todos.
Yes.
Now,
now let's go to the second Spanish speaker. So, Alberto.
Señor, es hora de hablar español.
It's okay.
Bueno, leo en español hoy, ¿no? A veces el inglés se me traba un poquito. Hello, everybody. My name is Alberto Gomez from Colombia. I live in Armenia. That is a small city in the mountains of Colombia. I'm a writer and a publisher. And as always, I'm very happy to be here with you all today. in a new episode of Global Picnic.
Hola and welcome. And now namaste, Varun. So please say some words about yourself.
So first of all, in Spanish, hola Global Picnic amigos, ¿cómo estás? So hello Global Picnic community. Namaste from India. I am Varun, working in the digital marketing industry, especially in social media and content marketing industry. I am one of the 5 members of Global Picnic community, and we 4 are here and waiting for our 5th and most important member, the Dagmar, and hope she will join us in few moments. So over to Zala. Let's start the very important topic, which is very close to our heart. Let's discuss the teamwork. Zala, over to you.
Thank you. Yes, when the person that kind of came up with the idea of creating a global community, global picnic community, joins us. We will also give her. We will also ask her to say a few words about herself. And we're really looking forward to her insights and also her experience from the businesses that she has created or done in the past. But before we kick off the topic, also Alberto is known as the creator of the wording that we call picnics are for people coming together or getting together, having fun and talking, discussing ideas. And also he is the one that you go to for all the analogies or all the mentions of food and drink in this global picnic community. So don't forget this, and let's have fun and kick off today's topic. Why we decided to talk about teamwork and team collaboration and team communication is because we're actually doing it every day as a part of Global Picnic community and as a part of everything that we do live on Tuesdays. And as a starter or as a warmer, I am actually a huge fan of design thinking. I have done various courses and I also use it in my work. And I am even a more huge fan of Tin Seelig, who wrote the book InGenius, and from whom we are borrowing also the ideas that will fuel our discussion today. Feel free to check it out. It's an amazing book. You should have it among your reading materials. I always come back to it because it's not only full of motivation, but it's full of great ideas that I also put in practice in Stanford this school. So basically, I'd like to kick it off by how this community actually started. So what are kind of the basic key ideas or the basic things that we need to take into account when we create a global team, when we create and when we also start global projects or projects with remote co-workers, with remote team members, and so on. And as a starter, I think I would say from also my previous experiences and also my current experiences, I would say that it helps a lot when the idea and when the core values are aligned. So when we have a topic that joins us together, topic that aligns us together, and also a topic or a passion that we all can contribute to. This is, for me, I think the most important thing. It also helps me when I create different global teams, or when I join different global teams, because it's like a foundation that helps me when I need to create a team, start a team, or become a part of the team. What are your thoughts?
Gentleman, please.
And everything went quiet. So, for example, when we were, okay, I will ask you like this, for example, when you do your projects, or when you do, when we were discussing let's say the birth of global community, for example, what were for you key elements or key topics that you wanted to take into account or think about before saying, yes, I will do it forever and ever, and I will be a full-time member and I want to invest my time and energy into this?
Should I start? Okay, Calvato, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead, Baron.
No, carry on.
Okay.
Let it say.
Alberto, por favor.
Por favor. I really think that there are two main things that join teams together. The first one is that you share with others the same values. And the second one is that you share with others the same goals or the same things that you want to reach, and you realize that together is the better way to reach that goals. So you sit and chat, you sit and make some propositions and some ideas, and we all decide if we want to join or not. But I really think that the goals and the values are very important in the process. I say in other episodes that for me it's very difficult in Colombia to find people for work with, because many people want to only do their job, only to have a 9-to-5 job, but they don't want to join a team and reach a goal and things like that. So I searched in the web and I found people like you. We are working together since 3 months ago or 3.5 months ago, and also my business partner at Money, he's a friend from the school, but we joined together like 12 or 13 years after we get our degree. But we both share a lot of values, and with Money and in business share maybe very similar goals. So that two things allows us to work together and to handle up with good and bad things in business.
Yeah. Definitely with you on that one. I think that in the previous episodes that we discussed, we talked a lot about the why and the values in business, and especially about the core values that we believe in ourselves or are important for our business. And I think that for me, or for when I work with businesses, it's that is kind of the deal breaker that usually either make something work or kind of break something work, and it can be like the core values can be a pillar stone of either you want to do something or you don't want to do something, or are that decisive factors of doing it or not doing it, or where you need to align different team members or different styles of work, or maybe different message or different interpretation that we all have.
Also, there is a very important value, that is many people wants to build walls, but many people want to build bridges. Maybe we want to cross the river for different goals, but only the bridge is one main goal and join us and put us together for work. And I really think that I consider myself as a citizen 2.0. I really think that in digital world we need to create a lot of much bridges, and we need to put down a lot of walls, because walls and many other things are dividing us as a human species. We need to join. We need to work together. We need to, as I said 2 weeks ago, we need to go ahead a step ahead, but together. There's some quotation from Jerry Garcia, but we need to move together.
Okay, excellent. What are your thoughts, for example, when kicking off? Because as we mentioned various times, the Tuesday live shows are the possibilities for people to pick our brain, to hear to our experiences, so to what worked or what didn't work. What are for you, Amalia or Varun, the deciding factors of either joining an initiative or not, or saying yes to something or saying no to something, and how to actually be wary of, is this something aligned with me, with my core values, with what I wish to work for, or the people I wish to work for. And we have Dagmar here with us now. So thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Dagmar. Thanks for making the time. Before, yes, we want to see your cat sanctuary. Please share it with us. And also, do say.
Is it?
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for sharing this with the global
With the Shiba.
Yes.
Let's Shiba.
So
Let's...
you see?
Hello. You see, kid?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. Excellent.
And they allow me to live here with them.
Excellent. Dear Global Picnic community, for everybody who's watching us live, this is actually, the add value that we get from Global Picnic. This is the add value that everybody from us shares. And this, for me, is also the glue and the ideas that kind of hold this family together. So thanks, Dagmar. The sanctuary looks so excellent that I want to live with you. Come on.
Yep, I have more people who want to live with me.
Yeah. For everybody, Dagmar, who is watching us live now, can you say a few words about yourself? As we've already mentioned, you're kind of the person that brought this Global Picnic community together and the idea to life.
Sure. I'm Dagmar Bricelj. I'm an SEO consultant, coach, and strategist. What I see we really can do online is help others fulfill their dreams and help others really get to the point where they want to get. And that's what I see, especially with Global Picnic. We all come from different countries. We all have different skills. But combining this is really the key to help others to move forward.
Yeah. Yes, as you see it, that's why we've waited also for for our Dagmar, who is besides Alberto, who is our, provider of food, drinks, thoughts, and also quotables, is Dagmar, who provides the right, I think, balance of real life experience, of innovation, of motivation, and of course some cat insight and snippets into our lovely community. Yeah.
I think Dagmar, we need a Facebook Live from Dagmar, like on weekends. We will love it.
Okay. Okay, I'm all for this, and now I'm all ears actually to hearing your thoughts, Varun and Amalia, and give Dagmar a few seconds to also then share with us. So what are the key deciding factors for you when you are either part of a global team, remote team, allocated team? So what are your, how do you decide for pros and cons, and where to go, where not to go?
So I like to start.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. So basic question is that before deciding which team to join or which team not to join, the basic idea is why we need a team, first of all. Why we can't do it all alone. So as a human, we can't do it all alone. We need partners, we need friends, or we need whatever it is, a companion to do work in a better way or make a better connection. So when we decide that, as Alberto said, that the teams are based on the either goals or vision. So we need to find a common thinking, or what's a common ground, so that we can connect with anybody, or be it globally or locally. When I decided to join the global picnic team, the idea was that we all love to talk, and we all, but not only love to talk, but we also share freely about the digital marketing industry. We have our individual knowledge or individual capacities in the digital marketing field, and we all are honest and clear to share our views, whatever we are learning it or by experience it, doing it on the global basis or local basis. My main reason was that the Dagmar inspired me to join the live stream for his show, which is actually on the Wednesday. And I love that via live streaming we can do, or we can share a lot of things which is not possible in other ways. So I decided to join this tribe because we can share and we can laugh and we can make a better connection, so that we can do something good in digital marketing field, and we all share that dream. So that's the main my mantra to join the global picnic.
Thank you. Amalia?
I think a very important thing is a good communication. Because if you make a join with a team or with a different person that you already are working, you have to open a new channel to know the qualities or the professional qualities of the person, and know the value that you can add to the team, because you could be a good professional in any area, but you have to know your limitations, and you have to put in the table the things that you could add to the team. And maybe if you know the walls, you can create different ways to climb the mountain. or to grow in a personal way and in a professional way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. That's also, I think, a very valuable insight. It's definitely not like, for example, a job or a regular gig that you have, that you already have a predefined concept or predefined roles. I think that also one of the features of, let's say, global remote work is that you're kind of a multifaceted, multitasking, multi-knowledgeable, that kind of I think that we learn on the go. And as Alberto and also Dagmar commented, you know, we need the right and the left hand, and then also we need our head to tell our hands what to do. So yeah, definitely we cannot do it alone. But I think it's also for me one of the maturity of being a global citizen or being a global worker or being a global teammate is also kind of a knowing yourself, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and also being professional to the point that you know, for example, what you can contribute. You know that you need to be proactive. And that you kind of know how to reflect and evaluate what's going on with the teamwork, what's going on with the teammates, and if the thing is going forward or it's actually just standing still or maybe moving backwards. So I think that that for me is kind of the top, let's say. I mean, it's like for me the top priority maybe that I have. Dagmar, what are your thoughts?
I don't know if you saw, did you see the Tony Robbins documentary lately where it was on Netflix, I'm Not Your Guru? Mm-hmm. So he says in it at the end that you only can choose between two things. You suffer or you live an incredible life, right? And there's no way how you can make a difference by suffering. So you need to live an incredible life. And coming back to global team, I only can live an incredible life if I give my best with what I know, what my skills and my abilities are. Mm-hmm. So for a global team, I always want to be the expert in what I know, but if I don't know something, then I will refer the prospect to my team member. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's very important two things, the human side of a global team and the professional side of a global team. I need to trust my team members so that when I refer them, I know exactly, and I did it, I think I did it with everybody except Amalia because she came later and I did not have an e-commerce request so far. But like one of my clients, she was looking for somebody who could help her with her ebook. And I referred her to Alberto because I know Alberto does it in his dreams, like day and night. And like social media strategy and campaigns, I would always refer to Varun because that's what he does day and night. And I want the best. I mean, I want to work with the best, and I want the best for my prospects or my clients. With you, Zala, like the copywriting, storytelling, everything what's content creation related. So for a global team, it needs to work in the highest quality and needs to communicate in the highest quality too.
We seriously need to think about building a digital marketing company. We can do all it or not try.
Yeah, but before, I think that Alberto, you wanted to jump in, but I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head here, Dagmar, because it's like for me, also what is important for me and what I see also in Global Picnic or in any teams that I've worked with or helped create is the, of course, number one factor that you mentioned, it's trust. but it's also knowing that that your colleagues or the people that you work with have your back, meaning that will, for example, whatever is whatever is agreed,
Yeah.
whatever we're doing, I know I don't have to micromanage, I don't have to check, but I know that they will deliver their highest quality, highest service, and also that they will be empathetic enough to know things, or maybe to know the setbacks, or sometimes just to give the extra push of energy or thoughtfulness or mindfulness whenever we really need it. So it's kind of it's being all together the motivators that can trust each other, that have our backs, and kind of push the whole thing forward.
Right. Like in Germany, they say it takes a community to raise a child. In Germany, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So, and it's the same with, there's no way how an entrepreneur or a small business can grow by having one person guiding them. There's just no way. One person doesn't know everything. So you need to have a team with different skills, different abilities. You need to have, Walt Disney said, you need to have the thinkers and you need to have the doers, and you need to have the planners. So it's true. There's no way how one person can be everything, and to get the best, you need to work with the best.
Mm-hmm. But okay, this is a question for everybody. But for example, how do we? What are your real life examples, or what are your experiences of how do we actually get there? Because one thing is talk the talk, but actually sometimes we need to walk. Or every time we need to walk the talk, because that is what matters. Because we've all read things, we've all seen things, but one thing is when we kind of do it in our shoes and we do it ourselves. So how do we get there? For example, that we are in a process, or that we are in a phase where the teamwork or the team load works perfectly, so that the workload is divided kind of equally, that we all know where we are, where we're going, what we're doing, and that we're all delivering our best.
I would like to say that if we go old way, like my old company when they are working, we have a project management software. Where we will delegating all the workload and what is the deadline and how much have anyone completed, or they need any support, or they need any suggestion or any correction. So that is the bureaucratic way of doing the work, as everybody or any major or small business they are doing with the help of project management software, or like a new age software like Trello or Slack. We have that we can keep a tab on each other. But before that, we need a trust factor that everybody needs to share the load. That if some task is assigned to somebody in the group, or let's say in a team, they need to actually come forward and take the responsibility. There might be some hiccups, or might be some slowdowns or up and down in their personal or professional lives, due to which a project can be delayed. But in general, people need to take responsibility. And second thing is soft skills matter in this field. Like if people is not tolerant or not respected to other cultural barriers, there is high risk of failure of that team. If people are tolerant and respect the cultural boundaries and understand the what's say the time difference and the uh, style of working, then the team is really bound to succeed in a long way, because they understand each other and they help each other. If we help each other and understand the basic thing, we can delegate our work to each other in if the situation need arises. Otherwise, we need to rely on the bureaucratic way of doing work with the help of project management software.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Varun, if I got you correctly, and please do jump in if you want. So it's kind of the mix of using tools or maybe some software for tracking, for knowing what we are, for signing and so on, like Slack or Trello. So it's kind of for quick communication, so where you don't have to read a lot. So it's kind of a segmented, it's quick, it's real time, and then I mean, everybody knowing what is expected, so what is expected to deliver, and also, I don't know, if something not clear, ask, not to get
Actually,
like a snowball effect.
the point was that the tools are there to help, but the problem is that people.
I heard the point. Thank you.
People,
Yes, go on.
My main point was that the people need to take responsibility. That whatever task is assigned to them, they need to take responsibility and complete in that time. There might be some hiccups or up and down, but there people are there to support, and people need to be tolerant with the cultural boundaries or the cultural thing, so that we can understand each other and help each other, so that we can succeed all at once.
Okay, understand. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really think that many people needs to realize that we all are part of many team members in our lives. We are part of our family, our marriage, our job, our team of friends, and all of us has rights and duties, and we need to do our job in our different teams. Guy Kawasaki said in Enchantment that there are two kind of people: the bakers and the eaters.
Yeah.
And when you
Sorry.
It's food. Yes, it's food and it's drinks. I tell you.
Sorry.
When you look around, you saw that there were many bakers and many eaters. And it's very much easier when a baker makes part of a teamwork than an eater.
Yeah.
Because the baker always do and know how to do and know how to learn to do new things. But maybe you can transform some eaters in bakers too. Not the biggest chef of the restaurant, but maybe you can put some eaters to work and to share your goals and as Steve Jobs said, to make them a better person in that things that do. I don't know if I am clear in that. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, but I mean, I want to. I would like. I'm just. First of all, I'm just looking at the chat thread that we have here, and I'm kind of in the between the hungry and looking for examples, which is also excellent. And before I have another question or an insight for us, I would like to extend a huge shout out to Ross Brand of the live stream community, which has been supporting us in the Global Picnic with the shout outs and with all the shares on social. So a big thank you, hvala, Ross, from everybody in this global community, the global room, and each of the rooms that we're sitting in. Thank you deeply. But and this is not a but to what I just said, but I was thinking, I was listening to all of us, and I said, okay, maybe the Global Picnic is actually a really good example to let's just slowly do the walk the talk. So kind of, for example,
Okay.
let's. I think that this is a really good time to pick our brain. So kind of what we just discussed, we can put it into a real life experience a little bit, or maybe just share what you did on your last project. But for example, it's like, okay, we're discussing a new topic or we're discussing a new project. So kind of, for example, how do we go about it? You know, who takes the lead? Who does what? How do we divide this? I mean, share 2 or 3 tips. It's really, I think that this would really be beneficial for our viewers, for our listeners, and if nobody's jumping in, I'm happy to go first. It's like whatever you wish.
Okay. I would like to start. The best thing is that we should delegate or distribute work on the basis of the influence of the team. What
Varun, I can't hear you. I have to say I can't hear you. If others can hear you, then I'm okay with it.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah? Can you start again?
Yes. I said that we always need to delegate the work on the strength of the individual people in the team.
Okay. Varun, can I just jump in? And let's maybe start at the real beginning. So, for example, how do we go about picking the topic? How do we, for example, what is your tip to go about before we do the division of work and everything? For example, how do we discuss the topic? How do we align the topic? How do we, for example, have something noteworthy or listen-worthy that we offer to our listeners or our clients or prospects or leads or whatever?
Okay. The problem is that what we are facing on a day-to-day basis, or what is the problem our community members facing. Like we are a small community of around 20 to 25 people in this global picnic community. The 5 we are talking here, and I think 7 members have joined till date. Apart from 5, 6 to 7 members have joined on live streaming, and around 10 or 12 people have watching us. So we can ask them what is their pain point or what we are actually facing in a day-to-day life, or what we as a global remote team we are facing. Like somebody, we are working on a project individually and we face that situation, be it in or copywriting or be it in a technology side or be it on a we can start an informal talk to that. Can gather the idea behind it, what we can discuss about this, and finally, when we have an outline, so that this is the point we can have, we can make it an official topic for our next week program or whatever.
Okay, Alberto and Amalia and Dagmar, if you heard everything that Varun said, please can you just comment on this and maybe give your insights about how we go from aligning the topic. So it's from what I understood, or also what my goal in Global Picnic is to include actually the topics that I hear from my clients, that I hear from my prospects, that I gather from social listening or from Twitter chats or from videos that I listen to, or I also hear some of the experts mentioning, or I know that people are searching for. So we kind of then get our heads together and we chat something more about this. And then, for example, what happens then? What are your experiences? I mean, you can talk about Global Picnic or any project that you work on in your real jobs or in your jobs. Okay. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost the point.
Okay.
If you want, I start.
I only catch a few words from Varun.
Okay. Okay, so I kind of just heard also half of it. So let's say, for example, the topics or the projects we get involved into are actually the pain points or are the issues that people are looking solutions for, that are troubling them, bothering them, and we kind of have an idea or a thought, or maybe we have a service, or maybe we can support them to work on this. So basically we kind of have the topic, and then we know something that we want to discuss or something that we want to offer. And how then do we go from having a topic or having a project that we kind of agreed on it, so we know what we're doing, we know what we want, we know where we're going, what the strategy, objectives, and goals are. How do we go into the realm, or what are the next steps or your tips for then putting this plan or this project into action? What do you do? Do you write on Google, I want to do a global project, or what do you do? I mean, here are people who are, who are maybe, want to do something or want to try something, and they're looking for our additional help or remote colleagues or teammates and so on. How do you go about it?
Maybe not like that, because one example of this is us as Global Picnic.
Okay.
We meet each other on Twitter chats, on Twitter's Matter, on content writing chat, but every day there is a lot of new platforms for collaborative projects, like hitrecord.com. That is the project from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the actor. He wanted to put together a lot of creative people around creative projects. So you're an author, you're a guitar player, you are a singer. Let's make a song together. So I really think that maybe some months later, we are going to find too many platforms like this for search. But in our case, it was on Twitter, chatting each other on Twitter chats, or maybe join Blab, because I really know, when I met Antonio Cambronero, I met him from his blog, but when I met him personally was in Blab. I joined one of his shows, and I said, "Hey, hello, I'm Alberto. I'm from Colombia. I'm a writer. I do this, and I really like what you do." And right now we got like 2 side projects together because of that. Because we found in some digital environment. I remember like 8 years ago, I met great people in Second Life, but there are some social places that and you need to be social, and you need to meet people, or what's the goal to have a social profile or social account if you don't socialize, you don't meet friends or people or coworkers.
I actually think that is, I think, sorry, Alberto, it's kind of you word it really well. What I think is the best, I think maybe starting point or a tip when you are a freelancer or you are doing different project work. It's like, like in real time or in real life, we're connecting, we're we're networking and so on. This is especially really important also in the digital world, because the more you talk to people, the more you get to know each other. It's kind of you get into the same ideas, or you get into the same projects, and then it's kind of what we all mentioned before, and also Dagmar, you said it's knowing what everyone is really good at. So So then it's like dominoes. We can put them together, and with dominoes we can do some really good presentation and deliver, for example, the project. But for example, from the experience that I have, or on the projects that I work, and also in the global picnic, it's like I think that whenever we agree on the topic or whatever we want to go ahead with, it's, you know, I'm always thinking in the back of my mind is what each one of us can contribute to the topic, for example, from the content perspective, from the SEO perspective, and how we can make a, you know, how we can make a connected story, you know, or the overall, let's say, project that we can deliver to somebody, or maybe give the insights to somebody.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand. I'm sorry, today I have a challenging day with my short-term memory. So if I understand it right, so after we have the project, right, Zala?
Yeah.
So after we have the project, what I would do in general, what I do with a project, I create a process. And then I look what tasks underneath each process phase.
Yeah.
And then normally when I look at the task, I already know, okay, is that the task for Zala, for Varun, for Amalia, or for Alberto, or for my other team members I have, right? I would not immediately go on social media or go wherever to post a project description. If I'm looking for somebody, I always would ask you for first if you can give me a referral, or my other team members, because I got stuck and I got burned so many times by people who said they have the skill, it sounded great, and then the human behavior was bad. Like they disappeared as it got difficult. They accessed accounts which they shouldn't. You know what I mean? So it's very, very sensitive to work with people in a global team. So one thing for sure is looking for somebody who has the skill and the ability, but it's much more, can you trust them? Will they do a good job? And can you count on them?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to say something. I think it's a very important thing that Dagmar said, because in the world we have a lot of good professionals, but we don't have a lot of good people. We have to understand that you can work with a genius, but if not, is a good person, of if you can trust in him, the work is like a mess, because you have to make a connection. We are human, like we always say, the heart-to-heart connection. We have to create a relationship, for example, with our customers. You have to listen their needs first of all, because all customers are different, and we have to know the needs of the clients, of our provider, I don't know the word, suppliers, for example, and workers, and then we can make a plan. But if you haven't the human resources, you never could have a good plan or a good project.
So Amalia, for example, when we have a plan, when we've listened to our, clients, prospects, customers, when we've gathered all the information, we've made the plan, we've kind of divided the work, we reach out to people, either we found them online through our connections or through different maybe portals that kind of offer also freelancing. And the most important things that for me especially is I need to know somebody. It's really I most never work with somebody I've never spoken to before, or I've never done something maybe offline or maybe smaller with, that I will then offer also as a subcontractor or sub-freelancer to my clients. But for example, then, okay, we've set up like a team of differently located people, and then how do we track this? I mean, how do we track this, that everybody's on board, that everybody's doing everything, you know, that we're not offering something, sorry to say, really shitty to our clients, or that somebody really shitty flows out there. So I think that this is also something that we need to highlight before we actually finish today's episode.
I think we need always a schedule to put the plan, because if you need to get a goal, you need the strategies, but you need tactics in the short term. Because you can make a long-term goal, but you have to make day-by-day reviews. I think, and you can know a person for this job, or for this how do you say, colaboradores?
Yes.
Collaborations.
Yes.
Co-workers.
Or
coworkers. I think in the way of freelance.
Yeah.
To know the work and to know the digital impressions and the past work. I think you can put like a channel and to make a bidirectional connection, but slowly in the first.
So like we have like a timeline, and then we have for example, what I work on with my clients is we make a timeline, we take milestones, and then it's like with the team that I'm working with, it's like we have like weekly or bi-weekly meetups or things, and then we see where we are, where we stand, what's open, what's changed, what we need to realign, for example, where we need to go differently, what needs to be updated. So it's like an on and off flow process that it kind of but needs a person. For example, definitely needs a person that puts everything together and kind of tracks these things, and has like we call it in Slovene that you have like when you ride a horse or something, that you have that thing in your hand, so you're kind of in control of it. So that I think is the most important when for example, when something goes bad or when something's not working, that somebody's taking care of that and saying, okay, so what are the next steps, what do we do, what do we need to change, and why is there a difference in understanding or difference in what was agreed, and how do we go about it?
Okay, I have an example. May I share?
Of course.
And I know it sounds funny, but for me the solution is love, right? And I know it sounds funny. So I have one team member. He's a web developer out of the country, and he does excellent work. I worked with him since 6 years, and he does unbelievable work. So, and because he's out of the country with the time difference and everything, I know he's not responding back within 2 or 3 days, and that's perfectly fine. So 3 weeks ago, I got a client, and she emailed me, somebody tried to take the ownership of her website through Google Search Console, right? So, and it's a hacker sign. So it's clearly in the SEO world a hacker sign. So we immediately try to go in and unverify this ownership. An hour later, the next client came. The same issue. I worked on this thing for 12 hours, changed all the passwords, deleted all the ownership files. It was horrible. And the challenging thing was they used my web developer's email address, right? So I emailed my web developers, if somebody hacks your account, you have to do something. Somebody hacks your account. So at the end, he came back 2 days later, and he was at the funeral far away. So in his country, he just has to travel long distances with the bus. So he was far away, and he said one of his team members did this. And it's a common practice, unfortunately, in the United States too. It's a common practice for web developers if they want to get into your website and see numbers. So now I was at the point, all my clients were totally fearful about there's a hacker going on, right? I spent 12 hours of this thing, 12 hours to do all that. And I had to decide, how do I want to deal with it, right? And I love him. He always does excellent work. He's always reliable. He's always dependable. He's my dream. So I decided, okay, goody, I will suck the 12 hours, adjust how it is, and I just will let him know in the future when he travels and a team member takes over, he please lets me know, and that never ever again in the future he will do something like that without asking first. And it's fine. You know what? This relationship is better than before, and it grew from there. And that's what I wish for a global team: honesty and caring about each other and showing so much love that if something like this happens, and believe me, for 12 hours, I was in shock. Every hour, if you get every hour an email from your client saying somebody took ownership of their website, like, it's fearful. But good, we figured it out, and we have now all the security in process in place. So I really believe if you care about somebody so much, then if there's an issue, you can figure it out. If you don't care and it's just you just see this person as an object, right? You pay somebody for, perhaps not a lot of money for, then you don't care, and then you try to find somebody else.
Thank you, Dagmar, for sharing this example. I think that this kind of really represents and sums up exactly, for example, the new behavior and the new type of work that we're doing now in the digital space, or in this digital era, where you don't have to work just with local companies, but actually with the people from all around the world. And what I think that all comes back to the one thing that we all have in common, and that also actually brought us together, is, you know, that I think engagement and endeavor and the amount of energy that we put into meeting new people and getting to know the people and developing that kind of trust, that actually then we know that somebody has our back, and they will deliver whatever we decided or we promised, I think.
Yep.
So yeah. Do you have any last thoughts or last insights that you'd like to share, or you think might benefit the people watching us live?
I want to say something based on what Dagmar said. And I really think that the better exercise you need to do with your teamwork is to share a couple of beers, or maybe 20 or 30 beers, because that's the way you know the human behind the professional profile.
The real identity.
Huh?
The real identity.
The
real person, and maybe behind that real person, you can know the heart behind that person. When you meet somebody as well, not as a coworker, not not as a coworker, but as a human person. You understand many things because teamworks are about need to flow like a system, like an organic uh, mm, thing. We are not machines. That's what I'm trying to say. That we are human. Sometimes we don't get the mood to answer the phone to a customer, but maybe uh, we can. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
But when you share that's the way I work with my wife, with my partner, my business partner, my brother, and a couple of friends more. We share some beers and we talk about the project, about the life, about how are we feeling. I stopped the book of money like 2 months, and I say to my partner, man, I'm sorry, I am not able to write right now. And he said like, dude, what happened? And I tell him, my ideas are not flowing these days. And he tell me, can you do another works for this? And I say, yeah, I can make this and this and this. And he understand my how
Mm-hmm.
my emotional state at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And we handle all together as a team in money, and we move ahead, trying to solve and handle that. I don't know if I'm clear with this example, but
I mean, I can say for myself, I understood what you wanted to say. And I think this is really good. I want to share my final thought, and with just a short example, kind of that relates to what Dagmar said in the comment box, that the best way to see how a human being, so our teammate or our squad mate or whomever is or really behaves, is in a conflict situation, and how somebody reacts under stress and pressure. Because, for example, it's like when I am in a situation that we are doing something, we're preparing a project, and just shit hits the fan. That is, when everything goes wrong, where nothing is, when it's like you think this is never going to work. It's like I know, for example, that my teammates are gonna keep cool. We will brainstorm together. We will say, okay, so I will do this, you will do that, I will do this. We'll figure this out. These are the options and solutions that I can offer. And I know, for example, that the teammates that I work with really have my back. And it's not just, yabba, 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 I'm blah, 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 but it's like, when something happens or when something unexpected happens, I know that they will pick up the phone. I know that they will answer my SMS or my text, or they will answer my email, and, they will be there fair and square so that we can solve this solution.
Sometimes,
totally agree.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Varun and Amalia, and yeah.
Go ahead, Varun.
I would like to summarize whatever was stated, that we need to get an informal talk, not an informal talk at the same time, at the high level time. So when we can expect if someone is talking, then we can expect immediate answer. We can expect energy reliable for the growth in the long term. Informal talk is always the best idea.
Varun, Varun, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
You're like in the outer space, and I really can't hear you. I didn't hear a single word. Can you maybe just go out and come in again? So we can, I mean, that you can share your final thoughts, because I think this is important. Your video, by the way, is great, but I really can't hear you.
I wonder why his video quality is so good
Yes.
and his audio is so bad.
I have no clue.
Perhaps it's his equipment.
Yeah. Amalia, you wanted to share your thoughts also, because
Yes.
we'll need to wrap this up today.
Yes. Okay. I think sometimes in the work, you have to take a break, and you have to look like another person, to look the situation, and to see different points of view. Because when you are inside the problem, you are like a blind person. You can think clear.
Sometimes you get blocked.
Exactly. You need to take a break, and you have to breathe and calm down and analyze the situation, and sometimes you have to ask for opinions, and sometimes you will be surprised, because you can see the things in a totally different way.
In soccer, we call that bajarle ritmo al partido. It's like, let's go slow down for a minute and see and think and then move ahead again. Because when you are running and running and running in sports, you
no way.
maybe you are not reaching your goals. You're getting tired, and you're getting your body and your mind in a lot of stress. And when you have a lot of stress, you can think well.
I agree.
And you need to ask too. You need to look aside and ask your coach, hey coach, how I am doing, or your partner, or your coworker. That's very important.
Yeah. Varun, can you share your insights now before we close it for today?
So in short, that first of all, am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So a team members can be introvert or extrovert, but sometimes breaking the ice with an informal talk and a lighter topic, and later moving on the slightly controversial topic, how people behave on that topic, and how tolerant are they, and how resilient they are that sharing their viewpoints, and how they are actually capable of handling stress and negativity is actually the sign of how good team player they are, or how much they are reliable for a long-term project. And informal talk will always be helpful for deciding these factors.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you also for coming in again, because I think that we all heard you now really well, and I think that all of us actually agree. It's not I'm sorry, we don't discuss, we shouldn't or we needn't discuss only business related matters all the time, but it's the heart-to-heart connections, and the human side of the connections is also sometimes the right time to maybe help us I'm sorry, help us through some difficult times, or maybe help us through the setbacks that we experience, maybe ourselves, maybe as team members, or maybe the team morale is sometimes not fueled enough, or low on battery, and that's when this side of the business also needs to kick in and need to step in. Thank you, everybody, for your thoughts. I will officially close the Global Picnic episode number 17 today. Thank you to everybody who joined us live, who watched us live, maybe for the first time or maybe for the 17th time. We appreciate you, everybody, also those who will watch us on the replay. Do not forget, and an important notice for everybody, all of our future shows will happen at 12:30 ET time, so half an hour earlier, due to the time savings or daylight savings that will begin shortly, and also for a better availability also for our listeners in India and overseas, because global should be really global, accessible to everybody. Thank you again very much for joining us. Feel free to reach out to each one of us on the Global Picnic hashtag that you can follow on Twitter, or find us across the platforms, and we would really appreciate your insights, your thoughts. Also, you can leave a comment on the YouTube live stream, and we'll be sure to get back to you, share some of our additional insights, and be happy to chat with you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week ahead. See you next week, same channel, just different bedtime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.